on the last episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Do it, Kwame.
Oh man, ever since Eruption disappeared, I'm having to do everything around here. What is the difference between Photoshop and Photoshop 64-bit? I wish I were smarter. Eruption! I thought you were dead.
Eh? How are you talking? Why are you talking? No, seriously, how are you talking?
I've been trying to make a new episode. You're here just in time. What should we play?
Earnest Evans. Earnest Evans. Earnest Evans. So Wolf Team made a bunch of games for the Sega Genesis, and they're all pretty bad in retrospect. Like, this fucking thing. So they made this game, El Viento, and it was pretty fucking cool. Then they made a sequel, two of them actually, Earnest Evans and Annette Futatabi. This trilogy of Sega Genesis rarities is known as the Earnest Evans series, although only one of these games stars the titular hero. Today, we're going to take a look at Earnest Evans, the Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy. But before we dive into the game, I need to show you guys this. This is the American cover of Earnest Evans, and that's supposed to be Earnest Evans. And here's the Japanese cover of the game. Americans. So Earnest Evans is one of the weirdest titles I've played in a long time. The controls are just There are two tiers of crouching, including proning, and it seems Evans enjoys slipping in between them at any given moment. Then you end up doing shit like this. Wolf Team! Oh, I forgot to mention, you're thrown directly into this game just like I threw you directly into this episode. Doesn't it leave you with a feeling of emptiness and sadness and just roiling hatred? A feeling of rolling directly into a wall over
No.
So you climb up this rope here and you get kicked in the ass till you're dead. Thankfully, Earnest Evans has a little bit of Harrison Ford's blood in him and gets up. I'm able to pull off the most ridiculous stunt ever conceived by mankind and end up with the treasure. Evans begins to freeze frame when suddenly a boss appears literally out of nowhere. Thankfully, it's also the easiest boss of all time. Now's a good time to point out Evans' animations here. I guess they were trying to go for a realistic look at the time, but now these are looking incredibly awkward. The way he moves his arms, especially the walk cycle. It's probably because of his torso being the most stagnant thing on the screen. It's a bit painful to look at for long periods of time. So we beat the boss and Indiana Jones style get chased by boulders. Thanks to the controls, I end up crouching and running most of the way to the entrance. You know, we're only at the first level, 3 minutes into the game, and I can already tell that we're in for one hell of a ride. Oh boy. Ah, shit. Oh, fuck! Now we've reached level 2, and we're stuck avoiding tentacles that have arrived from crevices in the ground. This is indeed a Japanese-developed game. Visually, this is becoming really painful to look at. That, combined with the clumsy controls and terrible sound effects, quickly become a very tedious experience visually and auditorily. With no manual on how to look up the controls or anything, it's up to sheer luck to find out how the hell you are supposed to climb properly, because it confused the hell out of me. Once you reach the top, it's boss time again. For this guy, just crouch and let loose till you reach his second form. I can't even tell what this first form is. I stared at this screenshot for 5 minutes and could not, for the life of me, figure this out. Is it a dead body? Is it a dinosaur? Even in its second form, it just loses the body and floats around in circles and shoots arrows at you. I have no fucking clue. Whatever it was, it's dead. And I hope you guys are ready for the next level because you guys are going to see the most powerful weapon in this entire game. Are you ready for this? This rock. No, I'm serious. Watch how fast it wrecks this boss. Rock on. Now we're in a dungeon with kick-ass music. Ah, shit. Looks like that turtle killed me, and I'm down to my last continue now. I'm hoping the game ends soon, because I'm getting bored. So, a common theme in this game seems to be incredibly easy bosses with ridiculously unfair stages. The stage hazards are so frequent and seemingly random that it forces you to slow down a bit, which is clearly not the way this game was intended to play, as you can see by the speed of everything. Again, it all just feels tedious. So we went from a cave, into a mountain, directly into a volcano, and into a dungeon. Where are we headed next? A high-speed train? Well, okay then. You got me, Wolf Team. You got me. Everybody knows hellish dungeons double as train stations. Who'da thunk it? Now we're on the roof and, oh no, I died. Game over? To the start screen? Oh! Poop. I get to start it all over. We're back, and that was stupid easy. Back down to 1 life though, because of the level design. Hopefully the end is soon. So we take off in a biplane, finish the stage, and end up in a city, which ends up being the only level transition that could possibly make sense here. I jump on this car and yeah, we're going so fast. Well, she's probably dead. And I'm gonna keep going now. Right around the corner, 2 Dolph Lundgrens appear and destroy me. It's game over again. There has got to be an easier way to do this. Playing through these stages over and over is super exhausting, and you stop wanting to do it. Thankfully for me, I have game FAQs. Enter this code and I only move 1 level ahead at a time. So I get to enter the code a bunch more times. How tedious. I keep saying this word. Games are supposed to be fun, you know? Engaging to play, effortless to control, and enjoyable from start to finish, to completely engross the player with a sense of adventure and give them one solid experience from start to finish. Beyond that even, to encourage the player to come back again, not because it's required, but because the feeling is warranted. A game like Sonic 2, with its multiple paths, fantastic music, and pristine controls, creates a visceral sense of satisfaction. You feel as if you had an entire experience without being pulled out by a lack of story, shoddy controls, clumsy hit detection, fucking this, grating sound effects and music, unfair level design, this fucking encounter, getting another game over, entering that code again, and this fucking boss! So we reach the final stage, and it's just bosses back to back. Say, Mr. Owl, how many bosses does it take to get to the end of this shitty game?
A good question. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. 3.
At the end of the credits, you see our hero running from a boulder until he's eventually crushed and killed. And that's it. So there you have it, Earnest Evans. Maybe one day I'll talk about El Viento, the ever superior prequel to this piece of shit.
Yeah, it's a much more solid experience overall. We'll play it another time on Boku no Eruption.
Earnest Evans. Earnest Evans. Maybe one day I'll talk about...
Go ahead.
We went from a cave to a mountain with huge water passages. I'm not even looking at the camera. I don't care. I don't care.
Go.
Earnest Evans.
Oh.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, one more. Mountain with huge water passages to a volcano directly into a dungeon.
Oh my god.